Don't let nobody fool you. Don't let nobody fool you. The PNP won the debate last night. Yeah. They had the most memorable performances. Yeah. They landed the most blows. And the governing team, the JLP team, did not do enough counterattacking. I'm thinking, yes, as a political commentator, a political observer, watching, looking on at this moment, PNP won tonight. Yeah? Julian Robinson, just a moment. Julian Robinson, yes, again, expectations. Very important in terms of how the public will assess. Julian is not usually like this. He's usually soft-spoken. Yes. Tonight, you saw a Julian Robinson who was on the attack, shouting. Yeah. I think that would go over well with his base. Yeah. And as such, they're going to say, why, Julian, come out tonight.
The government intervened to ensure that all depositors got back their money. What we want to see is the FinSAC report published. The country spent $150 million on a FinSAC commission, and all now we can't get the report. We want the FinSAC report out. And while you're at it, we will publish the SSL report, because we noticed that depositors have gotten $2. If them did have $100 and there's only $2 them get back. But the most honorable Prime Minister got all his money out of SSL before it collapsed. That is what justice means. We will publish the SSL report, and it is a failure on their part that after all these years, given the impact of FinSAC, that there is no report, no independent report. What we have seen is drips and drabs being leaked out by that side. So when we talk about FinSAC, let's get all the facts on the table and release the Kroll report from SSL.
Time up.
Interesting that that side can speak as if they're ignorant of FinSAC, when some on that very side were involved during the FinSAC period and benefited. Just recall the 40-40-40. You mentioned it. 40% of GDP to recover from FinSAC. 40,000 businesses lost their money. 40% being offered by merchant banks to make a profit. And DB&G made on average 40% return on their investments, which one of the principles sits across me right here. They cannot talk about fiscal discipline. They cannot talk about management and economy. They presided over the FinSAC era. They drove people in some instances to commit suicide based on news reports. They have no moral authority and certainly no economic management, and they are still there. The Jamaican people cannot trust.
Jesus. Julian Robinson, the PNP spokesperson on finance. He, I thought, hands down, was the best debater on the night. Easily. He exuded confidence. He never misspoke. He never missed a beat. He was articulate. He was aggressive. Me and some people have criticized his aggression. I say, what the F? This is a debate with political office at stake. When you want the man to come for meek and mild like a child, I thought he was forthright. I thought he was brilliant. At one point when me are watching the debate, me turn and say to somebody, but well on a man, only said Julian Robinson cannot be a leader of the PNP and a potential Prime Minister. What I saw last night from him was absolutely prime ministerial. And the best debater I see so far across the two debates. They give Julian 9 out of 10. And pointing beat. Let me tell you why I'm doing skillfully. He skillfully brought up issues that he thought were advantageous to the PNP, even when the questions never required to. But he was so skillful and calculating in what he was doing. And even though he did that repeatedly, he never missed a chance to answer the specific question. I thought he was brilliant.
People, the People's National Party, PNP, whip up the Jamaican Labour Party last night. Them give them a piece of beating, just like they did last Sunday, people. People, if you don't like and share this video yet, may I ask you to like and share this video. Once you don't like and share this video, may I ask you for your favor. Please to like and share this video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed as yet. Now, my viewers and my subscribers, the Jamaican Labour Party get a piece of beating from the People's National Party last night. And this is the second beating in the second debate. And this is just to show you that the Jamaican Labour Party, them not ready yet. Them not have no plans for the people of Jamaica. Last night debate was about social issue. And if these people claim to them in a government and cannot win the social issue debate, then what sense it make them stay in a power, people? The People's National Party clearly have all the plans for the people of Jamaica. They are the ones that are prepared to help this country going forward and help you and your family going forward with a better life. You cannot depend on the Andrew Holness-led administration. We are depend on PNP. If you say something, then them can live off of that. No, we no work that way the people. And clearly, we can see that the People's National Party is the best party going forward. Remember to like and share this video. Bless up to my viewers and my subscribers them. May hope everybody having a blessed and a wonderful evening. Now, my viewers and my subscribers, remember, in everything you do, always put God first in every any situation. Just always remember to call upon God. Always remember to pray, because a prayer day keep the devil away. Now, my viewers and my subscribers, we have a lot coming up inside this update, so you definitely don't want to miss none. So remember, watch the video until the end. And remember, like up the video, share up the video, and subscribe to the channel. Alright? Make we run the intro and come back. We're soon forward. Welcome back to my viewers and my subscribers them. Big up to all of my viewers, big up to all of my subscribers them. We continually support the channel and help the channel to grow. Now people, remember to like and share this video. Remember to like and share this video, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed as yet. Alright? So now my viewers, my subscribers, when you see Hughes come out and say the People's National Party clearly won the national debate, you must know say they win for sure. Because Hughes is not a man who give the People's National Party props. Remember just the other day, Hughes go ahead and said that the People's National Party, a target is radio station, his company, and his workers. He may even go as far as said that the People's National Party allegedly said man come shoot up him radio station. So you must know say Hughes not in a nothing with Mark Golin and the People's National Party. But it was so embarrassing last night that Hughes couldn't hold him out. He have to just say it clearly, loudly, and tell them plain and straight. Say, listen, PNP win, you know. PNP win, and the Labour right them in a problem. Big one too. So people, when you see some people a giggle and a wobble and a beat up them chests, not follow them. Because clearly, PNP is the clear winner.
The government intervened to ensure that all depositors got back their money. What we want to see is the FinSac report published. The country spent $150 million on a FinSac commission, and all now we can't get the report. We want the FinSac report out. And while you're at it, we will publish the SSL report, because we noticed that depositors have gotten $2. If them did have $100 and there's only $2 them get back. But the most honorable Prime Minister got all his money out of SSL before it collapsed. That is what justice means. We will publish the SSL report, and it is a failure on their part that after all these years, given the impact of FinSac, that there is no report, no independent report. What we have seen is drips and drabs being leaked out by that side. So when we talk about FinSac, let's get all the facts on the table and release the Kroll report from SSL.
Time up.
Interesting that that side can speak as if they're ignorant of FinSac, when someone that very side were involved during the FinSac period and benefited. Just recall the 40-40-40. You mentioned it. 40% of GDP to recover from FinSac. 40,000 businesses lost their money. 40% being offered by merchant banks to make a profit. And DB&G made on average 40% return on their investments, which one of the principals sits across me right here. They cannot talk about fiscal discipline. They cannot talk about management and economy. They presided over the FinSac era. They drove people in some instances to commit suicide based on news reports. They have no moral authority and certainly no economic management, and they are still there. The Jamaican people cannot trust.
I watched the debates last night, and I saw something in particular that went over many heads coming from the Jamaica Labour Party. And in all seriousness, I'm going to play the clip, and I want you to listen to it, and I'm going to address it. Hear this.
The case under the People's National Party. And I want to just come back to this issue of corruption, because they seem to think that they can speak about things in mid-air without any evidence, innuendos and suppositions, as if people are going to accept that. What the Jamaican people want is who is going to look after them, who will bring down crime.
Dr. Tufton, I am very disappointed in you. You dismissed the realities of corruption that has been plaguing this administration for the 2 terms. And in the name of achievements, results, you blatantly disregard the serious concern that many Jamaicans have when it comes to this administration and its modus operandi, that oftentimes leave the question to be asked, is this government a government of integrity? And you dismissed the genuine concern because you have a few achievements to show. The ends does not justify the means. This is not a Machiavellian society. This is a democratic society where you have to answer to the people. How dare you, Dr. Tufton, dismiss, throw corruption under the carpet because of what? Achievements? It's a disgrace to the integrity of what our Jamaican government should be showcasing. And it is embarrassing that many young Jamaicans like myself and future leaders of this country had to see leaders that we look up to but eye to corruption. We sweep it under the carpet. We don't want to acknowledge it. We don't want to admit it. We don't want to be transparent. We don't want to fess up to it. But because you have achievements under your belt, we don't care how we get to the achievement. We don't care how we get to the prosperity. As long as we get to it, it is okay.
People, when it comes on to questions about corruption, the Jamaican Labour Party can't even answer a straight question regarding to corruption. When Julian Robinson asks the Jamaican Labour Party about corruption, about the Integrity Commission and the Code of Conduct and so forth, you know, she said the Jamaican Labour Party, them don't even answer the question. And no, instead them answer the question, them gone way back in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. We, the Jamaican people, we don't want to hear about that. We want to hear about what's going on now. We want to hear about why you cannot release the FinSac report as well. Because you know, beat on that in the debate. FinSac report. Just imagine, you do a inquiry about FinSac, right? You do a report that costs the country, taxpayers, $150 million. Forget a FinSac report. We say who was at fault, who put the country in a bankruptcy, who destroyed the people of Jamaica with this FinSac we're not talk about. But unafraid to release the report. Why unafraid to release the report if you don't have no involvement in what happened to the Jamaican people? If you don't claim to say a PNP do it, right? PNP are lead in the poll. Uno would have released the FinSac report long time because uno spend $150 million to do the FinSac report. But uno hide it. Uno afraid for the people them see say Andrew Holness and Edward Siaga destroy the people of Jamaica and destroy the country economy. When Siaga go borrow $30 million, them time the $30 million US dollar whole heap of money. And Edward Siaga go borrow that money. And say, him never remember. And them now telling us say, it was the PNP, the People's National Party, that saves the people of Jamaica. Instead, them a try to make PNP look bad. When them should have the thank PNP to save the people of Jamaica. Such a hypocrite them. The Jamaican Labour Party cannot be trusted. As what Maped would say, them pump over $2 billion annually in the Integrity Commission. But yet still, Andrew Holness a fight against the same Integrity Commission where them a boast about. Andrew Holness claim to say a PNP control the Integrity Commission. Then if a PNP control the Integrity Commission, why on a pump over $2 billion annually in the Integrity Commission? Why on a boast about the Integrity Commission everywhere on go? If the Integrity Commission is not good, that is just to show you guys that they're just a bunch of hypocrites, a bunch of criminals.
Because I know in the 90s when I became politically aware, I remember politics and scandals. I remember hearing light bulb scandal, fat cat scandal, and then the mother of all scandals, FinSac. When you look in your dictionary and you look for scandal, you see the PNP right there. In terms of the Integrity Commission, it is this administration that implemented it. It is this administration that puts $2 billion annually to it. It is this administration in our manifesto that says we're going to strengthen our corruption prevention mechanisms in this country. It is this administration that has delivered Jamaica's best anti-corruption score. And it's not us that said it. It is an international body, Transparency International. We have been the ones that have been taking Jamaica on the path of anti-corruption, not the PNP.
In addition to that, let me just say very clearly that the Jamaican people are concerned about their lives, their livelihood, their communities, and by extension, Jamaica. They talk, we deliver. We have delivered the lowest unemployment, the lowest poverty, reduced crime despite Peter's objection by over 40%, the lowest in 30 years. That is what is important to the people of Jamaica.
Before we go any further, my viewers and my subscribers, Flavor Williams claims that she couldn't cramp Julian Robinson when she mentioned that Julian Robinson should have explained about the $3.5 million threshold. She keep bringing up the $3.5 million tax plan threshold, thinking that Julian Robinson couldn't explain himself. But Julian Robinson keep beating it on her and keep exposing her people. But you know who else explain to the people of Jamaica about that 3.5 million tax plan? Before I show you who else expose the Jamaican Labour Party and explain to the Jamaican people about the $3.5 million tax plan, I am going to play this clip from the debate with Julian Robinson and Flavor Williams, and then I am going to play Damian Crawford and the Nightly Fix. I explain to the Jamaican people them. I break it down to them people. So people, don't go away. We're soon forward.
We are committed to implementing the 3.5 threshold starting April 2026. This will be funded from revenue growth, which currently, based on the 1% growth, is projected to generate an additional revenue of $140 billion over a 3-year period. Additionally, we expect within the envelope that exists in the budget has four main components. You have debt servicing, you have salaries and wages, you have the capital budget, and then you have the programmatic budget. As a political party, we would have our own priorities, and we will look at the programmatic budget and make adjustments there. But we will begin implementing the 3.5 million threshold April 2026. However, there are other programs that we have announced that once we assume office, we will immediately, within the envelope that exists for programs, see how we will implement them. For example, ensuring that every needy child gets a hot meal per day. The first in family who goes to university to have a full scholarship. And also the $500,000 grant, which will be given to young first-time owners. So we are going to ensure that we do this in a responsible way fiscally without affecting the budget.
Thank you, Team PNP. Thank you, Team JLP, your rebuttal.
Lies, lies, lies. It cannot be done without imposing new taxes on the backs of Jamaicans. Your 3.5 is the biggest political scam since the history of Jamaica. It cannot be done. You were the people who said when we introduced the 1.5 that it couldn't be done. It would wreck the budget. How do you get from 1.5 to 3.5? It's 3.5 now, right? It used to be 2.3, 3.2, all over the place. Can't be done.
All right. Andrew would like to use the first of her two follow-up questions.
For Team PNP, I did not hear the cost of the proposed increase in the threshold, nor the programs to be readjusted to accommodate the increase.
The cost of the increase in the threshold would be $55 billion. Now, no political party implements every single thing in 1 year. So we are going to ensure that the implementation is done, which protects the fiscal sacrifices that have been made, and will ensure that the adjustments are consistent with the budget. So it's $55 billion that this particular program will cost. And in terms of the readjustment of programs, that is something that we will do once we get into office. When we look, we have priorities which are different from the current government's priorities. And we will make those adjustments within the envelope of $360 billion, which currently exists for programs in the budget.
Thank you, Team PNP.
Now, people, let us hear from Damian Crawford, breaking it down to the people of Jamaica and the nightly fix. Now, people, check out this video.
Well, one thing that I did think of was 1.5 million in the tax income threshold. And that was something that the PNP was saying, no, that's not possible. And now we're hearing talks of, if we are in power, it will be 3.5 million. A lot of people are calling BS on this and say this is a fantastical figure that will eventually bankrupt the nation.
All right, so I'm going to look into
Mr.
that.
Matsman, what do you say to
that?
this?
I'm going to look into that. First of all, like a relationship, policy is a construct of time and space. So you see, when you come and look at, like, your husband, you're married, right? Good. So your husband, you're at a particular place.
Check out for real.
A particular place at a particular time, and you met him, and you were both single, and it worked out. I don't know if you were both single, come here and talk people business. But I'm just saying,
plot twist.
But whatever was in reality, that time and that place was the right time.
Yes.
Good. Now, if it was at the wrong time or the wrong place, maybe if you never got that event, you would see him. So that's how relationships evolve. So too policy. At this time, what's the reality? In 2016, was it 2016? When the JLP came with their 1.5, the country was just coming out of a very difficult period.
Right.
Now, not only did they say 1.5, they say with no new taxes. At that time, we say, you can't do it without new taxes. Because they're saying they're going to build a car with square wheel. And we say, no, you have to have round wheel. And then they build a car with round wheel and say, me tell you, they're going to build a car. So they keep on saying, but we did the 1.5, but they introduced new taxes. The first year of the JP government, they introduced a raft of taxes to satisfy the 1.5. Okay. Now the country has evolved to where we are capable to afford different things because the PNP set fiscal policy rules that had to carry debt to GDP down to 62%. So at the time, debt to GDP was, I think, 80%. So we couldn't afford it at that time. Now that we're here, we see two proposals on the table. The first proposal is the JLP that says they're going to change income tax rate from 25% to 15%. Now, that means that the government will lose income, am I correct? Because they would have lose the 10% that you have reduced.
Yeah.
That is $90 billion. The PNP said, no, we not do it, so. We will increase the threshold to 3.5 million. That is $55 billion. This is not my figures. This is Price Waterhouse having calculated what 3 million would be, and we use it to use a exponential of what 3 million would be versus 3.5 million would be. So the JLP's cost is 90 billion. The PNP's cost is 55 billion. The two we have the same $100. But them we have spent $90, so we can't afford $55. But them can afford $90. It is a contrary thing to me that every time PNP says something, them say how it will be funded. But when JLP says something, it's like JLP have them personal money. Is what? JLP rich personally and I go use one of the 28 accounts I go fund it? Or the same budget exists. Now, how is it that we will fund it?
That's a big question.
But there's a thing called a fiscal policy paper. So each year when the government provides the budget, they also must provide a projection of what different things will be in a fiscal policy paper. It says that natural increase in revenues will be $147 billion in the next 3 years. Now, how can we not afford 55 billion out of 147 billion? This is their projections, JLP's projections. They are also planning to give up 90 billion. So how them can give up 90 billion, but we can't give up 55 billion? What disqualify we? You understand? So the problem that I have
for our own country,
is that concept. Now, the second component is our $36 billion for our programs. And because of the billion, people might not understand. Any serious government must pay their debt and must pay their salaries. So the entire election is around the other rest of money we left after debt and salaries. Because no matter who the debt must be paid, salaries must be paid.
Yeah.
So $360 billion left. All right. So I'm just going to put it in context. We are the foster parents of the society. When you're government, you're the foster parent. You're the father of the nation. You have to take care of people. Your duty. So this father have $360,000. The priorities of feeding the children, of sending them to school, of giving health care, of sending them to university, of giving them access to housing is $36,000 out of $360,000. Which father can legitimately say, I can't afford $36,000 out of $360,000 as the priorities of our society? So when you see them come and say that, oh, PNP can't afford, why can't we afford $36,000 to make sure children are fed? Why can't we afford $36,000 out of $360,000? But through $1 billion, it's hard for people to conceptualize billion.
Yeah.
So nationwide now, JLPFM, come through and say, yo, PNP's cost is 90 billion. I know PNP alone run. What's JLP's cost? Because one of JLP program is 90 billion. The whole of our program is 90 billion. You put up big brawling. So when a man in 90 billion, I never see more than 40,000 in life. Him start to say this, no sir, where am I get 90 billion from? Because it's concept of money. But just the forgiveness of the 10% is 90 billion for JLP. Their total, our total is equal to one of their promises. How many nobody has say how them have funded? So me want to know who stop we from funding. Same place where them get the 200 used buses, where used cars where we not get up till this point. The same place where Daryl Vaz get the $1.4 billion to buy the BBL bus them where don't cost 300 million. The same place where them get money to pay market me because she's the minister girlfriend.
Wow.
The same place where them get money to pay off Ramsha Rock for not talk about how she was hired at Petrojam without any CXC. The same place where them get money from Fian Jones, let's buy $1 billion out of vote up on the TV. The same place where them get money to do the things that they are promising is the same place we will get money to do it.
People, let me say this, people. I want to keep on a 8-pound body, stay focused, stay real to yourself, and understand that the Jamaican Labour Party have no plans at all for the people of Jamaica. Them just try to use them 8 pound for stay in power. so they can continue to destroy this country. And one of the things I really love is the way how Julian destroy the Jamaican Labour Party team and expose them. Because clearly, them never have no argument. Them never have no answers. And them clearly not have a clear question for the People's National Party. They are too caught up in corruption. They are too caught up in lying to the people of Jamaica just to try to get them to vote for them. So my viewers, my subscribers, listen to me and listen to me good. Let us get rid of the Jamaican Lion Party.
What guarantee can you give under your administration that Jamaica will never see history repeating itself, and how do you intend to honor that guarantee?
Well, what we have to ensure is that the agencies that have responsibility for managing and regulating the financial services sector are actually manned by individuals who are competent and professional. The Bank of Jamaica, the Financial Services Commission. Ensuring the BOJ now is an independent agency that has the responsibility for managing interest rates and primarily inflation. At the time when FinSAC took place, the government intervened to ensure that all depositors got back their money. What we want to see is the FinSAC report published. The country spent $150 million on a FinSAC commission, and all now we can't get the report. We want the FinSAC report out. And while you are at it, we will publish the SSL report, because we noticed that depositors have gotten $2. If them did have $100 and there's only $2 them get back. But the most honorable Prime Minister got all his money out of SSL before it collapsed. That is what justice means. We will publish the SSL report, and it is a failure on their part that after all these years, given the impact of FinSAC, that there is no report, no independent report. What we have seen is drips and drabs being leaked out by that side. So when we talk about FinSAC, let's get all the facts on the table and release the Kroll report from SSL.
3.3%. According to Statin, as of July this year, Jamaica's annual headline inflation rate stood at 3.3%. The Bank of Jamaica says as of August 12, 2025, Jamaica's gross international reserves stood at US $6.2 billion. The World Bank, the IMF, the rating agencies all commend Jamaica for this economic performance. How will a PNP government build upon and improve this trajectory?
I think it's important to set context for the question that you have asked. When they left office in 2011, the country was on the precipice of economic collapse. When we got in 2012, we had to restore Jamaica's credibility. We had to establish EPOG. We strengthened and enhanced the fiscal rules. We legislated the debt to GDP ratio so that any government, PNP or JLP, had to pay down that debt. Portia Simpson Miller and Peter Phillips started that race. We passed the baton. We are the persons responsible for the fiscal responsibility that exists today, and we will continue that when we get into office again.
Don't let nobody fool you. Don't let nobody fool you. The PNP won the debate last night. Yeah. They had the most memorable performances. Yeah. They landed the most blows. And the governing team, the JLP team, did not do enough counterattacking. They should have been more responsive. There came a point in that debate when they should have said, listen, time come, take off the gloves now. But go after them now. They didn't do that. They did not do that. I think the nerves got the better of Favour. I think Julian Robinson put on the most memorable performance last night because he was out of character. He found personality and gumption and passion and aggression that a lot of people are going to say, but wait, Julian this? Yeah?
Disrespect is when you need to get a meeting, you have to get restive and threaten strike action. We are going to treat public sector workers with respect and dignity. I won't talk to the JTA president like the Minister of Education.
Tufton, Dana Morrison, certainly not Favour Williams, just never came back at them. And I think Robinson and Bunting, shaped the debate from about 30 minutes in to the end of it. You know, debates are about influencing the people watching you. Yeah? And it's about optics as well. Television is about being authentic so that people can resonate with what you're saying. It's a performance.
First thing I'm going to say, we are going to treat public sector workers with respect and dignity. I won't talk to the JTA president like the Minister of Education and say him performing at his conference. That is disrespect. Disrespect is when you need to get a meeting, you have to get restive and threaten strike action. The fiscal policy paper has, in its first year, 9%. In the second year, 6%. In the third year, 6%. They have offered 0. That is not an offer. We will do better. But by lifting the income tax threshold to 3.5 million, we are easing the pressure. We easing the pressure on our nurses. We easing the pressure on our policemen. We easing the pressure so that more money will be in their pockets. They have a history of dealing with civil servants with disrespect. You right now have 2 sets of civil servants in the same office doing the same thing and earning different salaries. A whole set of anomalies that arose from the public sector compensation review. They haven't addressed it. There's supposed to be a meeting tomorrow with the JCTU and you cancel it. They are the ones who treat them with disrespect. We have a history of working with our public sector in the interest of this country, and we will continue to do so. So when we come into office, it will be better than 0% because there is money in the budget to provide better for public servants.
Some of us say, oh no, you must not do that. You must answer the questions. You watch debaters and all over the world. So you pose a question to me after the man just thumped me on my face. I must focus and answer the question and don't respond to him. In politics, not Nagoso. I'm going to thump him back. Yeah? And kick me. I'm attempt to kick me. Sidestep the kick and kick him back. That is cut and thrust of debating. Political debates, not university debates or high school debates. It is about convincing the potential voter at home that you're up to the job, you understand the issues, you can take a punch, and you can give a punch. Yes. So, on the government side, I thought Dana Morris and Tufton, they did their job. Where I think they should have been far more responsive to the attacks from Robinson and Bunting. They should have been more responsive. There came a point in that debate when they should have said, listen, time come, take off the gloves now. But go after them now. They didn't do that. They did not do that. Unfortunately, the finance minister had a bad night. Yes, she started strongly when she went after Julian after talking about he's going to implement his 3.5 in April 2026. And she said lies, lies, lies. That was a strong start. But then I think the nerves got the better of Favour. Favour is a bright woman, you know. She knows her brief. Yeah? And the questions that she should have really hit out of the park, I think the nerves got the better of her. And she came across as not assured, halting, yeah? So that's my assessment. Don't let nobody fool you. I think Julian Robinson put on the most memorable performance last night because he was out of character. He found personality and gumption and passion and aggression that a lot of people are going to say, but wait, Julian this? Yeah? Peter Bunting was ruffled early on by Christopher Tufton's line of attack. And he got annoyed and counterattacked Tufton, yes, over the integrity issue and how he made money from the FinSac meltdown. And he went after Tufton. And what I found was that Robinson, Bunting, the PNP team, save and except for Keisha Anderson, who was largely not present, but Bunting and Robinson just tore up the script and they just went on attacking, while Tufton, Williams, and Morris Dixon for the governing Jamaica Labour Party, they didn't really tear up their script. They continued to try to answer the questions. They kept on trying to answer the question. But they were losing by the middle after 45 minutes in their attempt to answer the questions, with Robinson and Bunting attacking and landing blows, which they were not responding to, despite Bunting and Robinson, when asked a question by the questioner, saying, listen man, Tufton said this before, and I want to respond, and responded. Tufton, Dana Morrison, certainly not Favour Williams. She would never do that. Just never came back at them. And I think Robinson and Bunting, yeah, shaped the debate from about 30 minutes in to the end of it. And it is for those reasons I say the PNP won the debate last night. Yeah. They had the most memorable performances. Yeah. They landed the most blows. And the governing team, the JLP team, did not do enough counterattacking. I think come tomorrow night, the Prime Minister and the opposition leader, it might be a slugfest, because the PNP line of attack is pretty clear. They're going to attack the Prime Minister on his declarations, as they have been doing for the last 2.5, 3 years. Yeah? I think this is a set piece now for the Prime Minister to look Mark Golding in the eye and respond. That is the moment we're all waiting for.